Welcome back everyone to cooking. I'm really excited to be here again. So we're continuing our cooking process. We have our wonderful soup here. We're letting our cooked chicken soak up all the flavor. I'm having a really good time looking at it and watching it develop. Our garlic is cooked, our chicken's cooked. Now we're just softening up our frozen vegetables. Frozen vegetables are great, but today we're going to be doing something else too. We're going to be making our pasta and our spinach. Now some of you might be intimidated. You're going to say, Christopher, fresh spinach. I can't do this. It's a fresh vegetable. You literally said we're not going to do fresh vegetables. But this is a really easy one to do that you can add on the side to your soup or to really any other dish. And it's really easy to make. So we're doing that today. We're also going to be making our pasta as well. We have our nice water to roaring boil, and we're going to be putting in our orzo. So before we get cooking, just a little side note. We've done a lot of cleaning up here. We've disposed of our oil and cleaned out our pot we used, and everything. We've gotten everything set up. So what we're saying here is that you have to make sure to clean up as you cook, in order to not have a messy workspace, and in order to be nice, neat, and organized. Now, you may have asked, Christopher, where in the world does this oil go? This oil and chicken broth mixture. Well, how to dispose of it? Before you do anything, you want to make sure it's cooled down and not hot to the touch. Because with hot to the touch, something dangerous could happen. You get burned, or you just run the risk of hot oil being everywhere, which isn't a good thing. So what you want to do next is, after you've watched your oil cool down, you want to get a plastic shopping bag, something from a grocery store or a similar plastic bag, and pour your mixture in there. And you want to make sure you have two bags when you do this, in order to ensure that if one bag has holes, it doesn't spill out. One thing that I really, really, really want to emphasize when doing this is you just do not want to dump it directly down the sink, because that's going to be really bad for your pipes, unless you have an industrial kitchen. If you do, you might be able to do that. But for a regular home kitchen, you definitely do not want to pour oil and chicken broth mixture down your pipes, because that's not a good thing. If you double bag it, you can often throw it in the garbage bag, and that'll be okay. Just to elaborate on the story I told earlier about the boiling oil that was way too hot, we had to put the entire Dutch oven outside in the cold air, waiting for the oil to cool down before we could actually dispose of it. So you're probably not going to have to do that with your chicken oil, but that's the length that people will go in order to make sure their oil is cooled down before disposing of it. So let's move on to our first step, our pasta. We have our wonderful water that we've had on a rolling boil, just waiting for pasta to be put inside. So let's do that. Here we have our orzo I mentioned earlier. This is a authentic traditional bronze cut pasta, and we have our wheat pasta here, and we're just gonna pour it into the water. So in it goes. You want to be gentle with it so nothing boils over. Again, we like to cook our pasta and our soup separately from the actual soup itself, because we don't want the pasta to absorb all of the nice broth flavors. And the house smells amazing because of the flavors. You don't want those getting soaked up by pasta. In addition to that, if you do want to actually wind up freezing the soup, you don't want pasta in it either, because that won't be good for the freezer. The freezer won't break, but the soup just won't be as good if you have frozen pasta. So now we'll just let our pasta boil for a little. We'll just let our pasta cook for a little while. But now let's start the process of actually making our nice spinach. So here we have our nice and wonderful spinach. This isn't the spinach, this is the cup, but we're going to be using it in making the spinach. You might say, Christopher, this is huge. I'm not going to eat all the spinach. 20 people couldn't eat all the spinach. Like, this could feed an army. Never fear, this is going to wilt. Or not wilt, but it's going to shrink down in size when you put it in the pot to almost nothing and look like normal spinach. So you might say, I've never done a fresh vegetable before. Well, now we're going to teach you to do fresh vegetables, so get excited for that. So why I actually took out the cup was we're going to put oil in this cup, but just a little bit. This is a 4th cup. So what you want to do is put about half of this, or an 1/8 cup. Anywhere between an 1/8 cup and a 4th cup of oil into the pan. So let's do that. Pour our oil in. Just half is good. I say this amount is fine. It's a little over an 1/8, but it's definitely under a 4th, so you're good there. Then we'll put this, and then we'll just pour this into the pot, like so. Now, a trick that we like to do, spread it all around, is take the pot, spread it nice and around. Make sure it's nice and beautiful. And you actually want to start heating up the oil too. Put that on max griddle, medium heat. Now, the secret to our spinach, something we like to do, is add garlic powder to the oil. It might seem like a weird trick, but it's actually really nice to do. Just sprinkle, 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 sprinkle. That's good. You only need a little bit. Now, when you wait for this oil to heat up, you spread the garlic powder all around. And then the oil will heat up while we spread the garlic powder around. There we go. Now our pasta's starting to cook. We'll check on that. This is going to be done soon. Some people like it more al dente. Some people like it soft. Whatever way you want to do it for this is fine. Now, let's look at our soup right here. If you see a little scum on top, that's okay. Some people like to skim it off. We personally don't. We personally don't. You can leave it in or leave it out. So now we're gonna start taking our bag open and putting our spinach in. Now we're gonna put the army feeding spinach into the pot. You want to just take out clumps of it and put it in slowly, because although I said it will get smaller, it's gonna be big at first, like so. We can put more in. This is good right for now. Now you want to start nice and around these little flipper things. I personally love these flipper things. These are wonderful for brownies and things of that nature. If you want to get some of these, you can get. I've seen them in a supermarket in Edgewater called Mitsuo. So if you want to go check that place out, you can go there and get these flippers. I'm telling you, they're really nice. See how the spinach is starting to get even more deeply green and starting to get smaller? This is exactly what you want to happen. Cook, cook, cook. Our pasta is going to be done soon. Now see how the spinach is starting to get smaller? We can actually just put more in now. You'll need a little bit of oil because you're going to be putting the spinach in. Not that much spinach in. Now we see how the spinach that will feed an entire army is now getting smaller and smaller, so we can put some more in. If you want, when you take this out, you can put salt in it. My grandmother, as you know, can't use that much salt, so we don't put it in for her. But if you want to, you can totally do that. Cook, cook. We have some more foam coming up to the top. Our vegetables are softening. It smells wonderful, like tomatoes, because there's a lot in there. Our spinach is still continuing to get smaller. See how this one on the very bottom is actually starting to look like spinach? We stir that around. And then our spinach cooked. The spinach is on medium heat. We had a little runaway spinach, but that's okay. See how the spinach continuously starts to get smaller? This means we can put more in soon. And some more spinach goes from our endless bag, and away it goes. We're still recording, that's good. This spinach is a nice healthy addition to your soup. You can have it on the side. If you want to experiment and put it inside, you can do that. Our spinach is continuously looking like spinach. As we see this leaf here is more brightly green, but this is starting to look like spinach that you would see at a restaurant or something that you would serve to yourself. from a frozen bag. I'm not saying frozen spinach is bad, but we definitely like to use fresh spinach. You can find this at pretty much any grocery store. They should have just these bags of fresh spinach. This is baby spinach. So if you like the exact type we're using, we put a lot in. And it may look like a huge mountain now, but it's gonna get smaller. Just wait for our mountain of spinach to cook. Pasta's almost done too. One thing that you can even do is you can do this. Just make sure nothing spills. Ain't that wonderful? It's okay. Though I'm disappointed we have had some spinach casualties. That's okay. There we go. If you want, you can just throw it back in. Now what we want is we want to stir our pasta. Pasta's almost done. Stir, 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 stir. We take a little full out. Keep stirring our spinach. Make sure we take the ladle out. Then we turn off our pasta. There we go. Let's let that cook out, and we'll let that sit. See how our spinach is starting to become more cooked? This is wonderful. We'll move into a bowl soon. We want to stir. Oh, you always want to remember to stir the soup too. Stir, stir, stir. But you want to be gentle. But you always want to remember to be gentle. Gentle. Nice and gentle. Beautiful. Some people do skim the scum off. Again, as I said, we don't do it. Notice how our spinach is starting to get smaller and smaller. We can lower the heat now. Over to simmer. Now, here comes the really fun part. Drain that out. And now we can take our pasta. If you need to, you can use an oven mitt. It's a little warm. So you can take it. You have to be really strong to do so. Take it. Drain all your water. Yeah. See, it's a little heavy, so we're going to have to do some big batches. There we go. We have our nice, beautiful smelling pasta. It smells wonderful. Lift the colander up. Water gets drained out. There we go. Now leave our pot here. Get any excess pasta out. Sorry, my team kind of clunky. We'll continue observing our spinach. I think this is wonderful. You may have some casualties, but that's okay. See, notice our spinach needs to get more green and small. Sizzle, sizzle. It's okay. Then, our spinach is almost cooked, so we're going to start moving this into the bowl. You can use tongs, or you should use tongs, rather. Start moving to the bowl. okay if you have some leaves that aren't as cooked as others. You have to remove it all at once. You can take the done spinach out though. And some people like bigger leaves. I don't mind them at all. It's nice, beautiful, green, verdant, juicy spinach. Get this one out too. Then we can lower the heat. Here's the spinach. Looks beautiful. Notice how small it got. You would think after seeing that huge bag that it would be, oh, it's massive. But no, it's teeny. Can't really feed an army. Just an illusion. And this is the baby spinach. We take the rest out. Still a little in there. You want to take the remnants out. But that's pretty much it. Thank you all for watching me make spinach and pasta. I had a really good time. Making it with you. I hope you guys enjoyed it too. Something I really like about this is, again, this is a really a dish that you can save. You can freeze the soup. You can keep the spinach in the fridge for a little while. I've taught you a lot of new things about safety and cleaning up and oil and things like that. So yeah, I hope you had a really good time watching it. I'll show you the pasta in the blender quickly. Bring it over. Look, it's beautiful orzo. It smells wonderful. It smells like fresh pasta. One of my favorite smells. I'm sure it's a good thing in your house as well. Should we stir our soup again? And yeah, I hope this intro to fresh vegetables didn't really intimidate. I hope this intro to fresh vegetables is really nice and helpful. Because I know that making things fresh can be really intimidating. I'm taking out this paper towel because there's little liquid on my computer. So I want to make sure it's nice and non-liquidy when I go to film and things like that. I hope this camera setup worked well for you. Or foil, everything out. So thanks for watching, everyone. Have a great day. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I can't wait to see you again next week. I hope this recipe serves you well, and I hope you have a great week. Thank you so much. Bye-bye, everyone.